this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no one.
Wait a second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Well, greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the World. I'm SeptumSin, and I'm here to do a second part of this Rating My Collection series. I hope y'all are enjoying it. Of course, if you do, click that like button. And of course, if you're not, you can click the dislike. That's fine by me. But, let me know in the comments why. Of course, agree or disagree. These are just my humble opinions. So if some of these, like a movie I really hate, could be your favorite movie in all the world. So, if you do want to tell me about that, of course, don't go saying like, you, beep, 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 and, tell me about how much I'm a terrible person for not liking it. Well, that'd just make me dislike the film much more than I did prior. But, of course, if you come in there and you say, this is why I think it's a good film, I like it, you should give it another chance, I might do that. So, not every rating is cast in stone. So let's take a look at our ratings here. Again, you might see some familiar territory, but, Priority is one that I feel like not just me, but everyone should own. I think that there's no way I would get rid of this one. There's no way. Yes, Please is, something that I feel should be in a collection, and therefore should be in my collection by default. Something that's really good. Maybe not one that's like my favorite films of all time, but definitely a high-grade film, or a film that I feel is well done enough that it should just be in the collection, even if I don't like it. Curious is usually for films I haven't seen, which there are a number in my collection I haven't, that I don't have a lot of hype to watch, or films that, I think are okay in general. I think that they're decent and they're enjoyable. Meh is, they're films that I could take them or leave them. And if they left the collection, I wouldn't miss them. But I'm not going to go out of my way to get rid of them. And then Hell No is, if next time I do a thinning, it's gone. There are not many Hell No's because I usually get rid of those. But there are a couple in the collection because the collection is large. So let's take a look at what we've got here. So, A Bay of Blood is our first one, and it's considered to be one of the very first slasher films. That's up for debate, but because of that, I consider it very important. I haven't seen it yet, but I do feel it should be in any collection for anyone who really has a penchant for horror like I do. It just needs to be there. So definitely a yes, please. When I watch it finally, it'll probably stay here, but it might be upgraded if I really love it. So, A Beautiful Mind, Priority. One of the best films ever made. There are a couple flaws with it, but for somebody like myself, who is very interested in mental health, who likes to go through a lot of that, this is just like a priority. There is no place it could be. So, A Bridge Too Far. Again, a must-own because it is an Oscar winner. It is an excellent military film. I am not over the moon about it, but I do feel like it's an excellent film and is a yes, please. A Brony Tale. Very amusing, very enjoyable. I am kind of on the fence about Curious and yes, please. I really like the film. It's not a priority by any means. but I wouldn't I wouldn't try and get rid of it at any time, and I would definitely miss it from my collection. I'll go with the High Curious, because the Bronies film is actually more superior on that documentary-wise, but this is still an excellent documentary. Bucket of Blood, must-have for your collection. Classic Corman. Classic film. Great horror comedy. Definitely a yes, please. Bug's Life, one of the weakest films from Pixar. And sadly, the weakest film from Pixar is still an excellent film. That's an amazing thing. So we're going to put that as a curious, because I like it. I like the film okay. A Cat in Paris is an excellent film. It's a nice cartoon. It's a good children's story. It is one that I enjoy, but not one I feel is a must-own. Was an Oscar nominee, but not a winner. So yeah. So there you go. A Scientific Railgun. Let's go with this. I'm going to rank all three of these together. The movie, the first and second season. I own those. I don't own the third yet. And they are a fairly good series. They're very entertaining. They're worth watching if you haven't watched them. Do I consider it a must-own for anime collectors? Probably not. Do I consider it one of my favorite animes? No. I would say I'd put these under the curious banner. Zing! Same with the Scientific Railgun, that one and two. I actually kind of like this one a little bit better than this one, but they occur in the same world. If you like sort of a sci-fi fantasy mix, this is pretty good. I mean, yeah, a Charlie Brown Christmas priority. That's just iconic. I mean, the soundtrack, yes, there's nostalgia there, but this is why it's my list, so it plays off of my nostalgia. But I still feel it's iconic. It's synonymous with the time of year. I know people who aren't even Christian that really like this film. It's just something cool for the season. It captures something. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, not so much. You go there for the racism. You're decent, but Christmas Carol, also over here, was a decent rendition of it. Yes, Picard himself does a good job with the role, but it's nothing that sticks out to me and goes, ah! But I'm glad to have it in my collection, nevertheless. A Christmas Horror Story. That's a yes, please. I love this film. It's one of my favorite holiday horror films. Right up there with, what is that film? Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's just really awesome. I love the Krampus connections. I like the little vignettes. I love William Shatner as the host. It's just excellent. Okay, A Christmas Story 2, that's meh. It was okay. I watch it on occasion, but I wouldn't miss it. Christmas Story, yeah, again, that's a yes, please. Now, some people might go, why is that not a priority? Because I didn't grow up with this one, but I still enjoy it. Fairly good. And I do understand the importance of that in a collection. It really is an important film. So because of its importance, and because it is an enjoyable film, it is a yes, please. But because I don't have the nostalgia, it can't quite get to that priority level. Clockwork Orange. I don't like this film. Let's be fair, though. It is a well-done film, and it is a must-own. So it is a priority. Again, I don't have to like the films for it to be not priority. It is a yes, please. I do not have to like the films. I just have to feel that they are necessary for most collections. And I do feel that most collectors, if anybody considers yourself a movie buff and you don't have this in your collection, shame on you. It goes largely unwatched by me, but I have watched it a number of times, and I probably will be watching it again. And I may even upgrade it to Blu-ray. So, this one here is like a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, I think it is. I've never seen it, so this isn't a curious thing. A Cure for Wellness, I liked it. I thought it was pretty interesting. It's not like top tier, but it was a very good story, and it was worth a watch. So I'm kind of glad it's in my collection. So what is this one? A Face in the Crowd. Another curiosity because it's supposed to be a really good movie, but I have yet to see it. So again, I need to check it out first. Fantastic Woman, amazing Oscar-winning film. Very well done. I really enjoyed it. Saw not too long ago. Definitely yes, please. A Farewell to Arms, another Oscar winner. Another one I saw not long ago. Also must see, but not like top tier. Not for me, anyway. A Fine Mess. Well, decent enough film. Nothing to write home about. I would not miss it if it was gone. It's okay if you like the main character. So if you like those main actors involved, you'll probably enjoy this. Fistful of Fuku, haven't seen it yet. Curious about it. A Free Soul, excellent film. An Oscar winner, worthwhile, especially if you look at the history behind it. Get that Forbidden Hollywood set 2 for this. It is worth it. The extras make it worth it. It's a mad, 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 mad world. Funny thing happened on the way to the forum. That'll be a long ways down. That's also Oscar winner and a fairly decent comedy. Matter of fact, I'm going to put A Free Soul up here to priority. Alright, A Good Day to Die Hard. It's alright. I'm not like a huge fan of it. But, it was alright. I will own it because I feel like I want to own all of the Die Hard films. But, it's very close to this otherwise. So I'd miss it if it was gone, but not quite there. Help I really love. A Hard Day's Night, good film, interesting comedy for the Beatles. More on the curiosity end, though. A Listen in Love, haven't seen it, want to see it. Boom. A Letter from Momo to Momo, great film. Very, very close to Yes Please, but not quite on that level. A Liar's Autobiography, excellent film, must for most collections. Definitely a yes please, especially if you like Monty Python. Lull in the Sea, good anime, solid anime, one I'm glad to have in my collection, but not one I feel is a must, unless you're like an NIS collector. A Man for All Seasons, another must-have for your collection. Another must-have, because, again, Oscar-winning film, also an excellent film. This one, definitely a priority. Midsummer Night's Dream, another yes please, another Oscar winner, decent film. I am not in love with the film, but it is a good film nevertheless. Midsummer Night's Sex Comedy, also yes please, must have. Most Woody Allen films for me are in that category because most of them are must-haves, but there are a number of them that will go down to curious. I don't think any of them are going to go down to meh or hell no. Despite opinions, I do feel like most of his films are at least great at some level. A Mighty Wind. Again, an excellent film. I think everybody should have all of these in their collections, these guest films, and guest is the director's name. It's just really awesome. If you haven't seen it, it's a great comedy, kind of like mockumentary. Many Ways to Die in the West, meh. It was an okay comedy, but I wouldn't miss it. Muppet Christmas, that's on the curious end. It's a decent one. I think this is Letters to Santa. It was an okay one. I like the Muppets. I've got a soft spot for them, so definitely would miss them if they weren't in my collection. A Night to Remember. This one's a hard one. I'm gonna go here. because A Night to Remember, the film is really good. For those of you who like Titanic, it's definitely up there. People who saw it actually, who were there, had some PTSD because they felt that close to it. A Night to Remember, to me, strikes a chord that Titanic and the previous Titanic, both will be coming up on the list eventually, could not do. So I feel like I should put this above this because it is an excellent film. And it has a Criterion release, so you should get it. The Nightmare on Elm Street, A Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake is okay. This one here, oh, what is that one? Not resources, not that. Where is it? Pictures, movie posters. I gotta look for it because, of course, it's not got a label on it. Why would it have that? There we go. A Page of Madness. I've heard a lot of cool stuff about this. Hype alone puts it up to a yes, please, because it does have a lot of significant historical value. I want this film. And I haven't. But I haven't seen it. A Passage to India, another one that's a must-have. It's a good film, Oscar winner, well done. Not my favorite in the world. A friend of mine, Jake, would say that this is a must-have, but I was okay about A Prairie Home Companion. A very low curious. What's that one? A Quiet Place. Very good film. Very intense. Yes, please. Rainy Day in New York. I don't know yet, but because people tried to stop it from coming here, it makes me go, yes, please, because screw you people. Screw you and your censorship. A River Runs Through It. Excellent film. Almost to priority, but I still feel like it's only yes, please. Very good film, nevertheless. Should be seen. Very good. A Safe Place. Another okay film. Not quite a winner of an Oscar, but it is a decent film nevertheless. So, curiosity. A Separation. Excellent film. Oscar winner. Yes, please. Not again, very close to priority. Very well done. Iranian film. Iranian directors are amazing. I hate this film. I have debated kicking this out of my collection so many times. It's the first one there, but it's nothing but basically laughing about someone's misery. I do not enjoy that. This is the Coens at their worst, unrestrained. It's worse than that, than the Paris Je t'aime scene that they did, which I didn't like that either. Let's see here. What's that one? A Ship to India. Haven't seen it yet. Curious. Shot in the Dark. Yes, it is a priority. The Pink Panther collections. This is one of the things that puts Peter Sellers on the map. It's extremely important. It's very good. It deserves a place at the high point on this list. The rest of the films, not necessarily, but this one, definitely. It introduced us to characters, to things that they just keep going on. They're timeless. Silent Voice, priority. One of the best anime films, period. Or animated films. One of the best films, period. I'd even be willing to say, if you haven't watched this one, you should. Even if you look and say cartoons are for kids. If you do that, I don't know what I don't know about you. But yes, definitely. A Simple Plan, one of my favorite films. Excellent film. It's a Stephen King film without being a Stephen King film. It's just really good. It's probably the best Stephen King film ever made that he never wrote or had anything to do with. A Sound of Thunder, very good film. Better than I thought it would be. I don't consider it a must-have, but it is a fun sci-fi film. A Spirit in the Sun, good film. Not quite a necessity, but very good nevertheless. The original A Star is Born, it is an Oscar winner. So yes, please. Decent film. Nothing to write home about. This one was the superior one, the 70s one. And I also thought that the new one, right up there. Now, this is where most of those would go, except for the most recent one. If it was an Oscar winner, theoretically this is close to a yes please, because yes, it's a great role for Judy Garland, and it did get some nominations, but it's very long. Streetcar, I hate Streetcar, but it is an important film nevertheless. This one was an interesting one. What was it? Tale of Two Sisters, I think it is called. Yes, Tale of Two Sisters. Fairly decent horror film. You should check it out if you like Korean horror. A Taste of Blood. Haven't seen it yet, so more on the curious side. Time to Kill. Excellent film. Needs to be seen. Not quite enough for priority, but definitely needs to be seen. A Tree of Palm, very good film, very beautiful animation. Not necessarily a must, but still a good one. Harold and Kumar Christmas, priority. Excellent Christmas film. Seems like we got a lot of those Christmas films this time. This one should be watched every year. If you like raunchy comedy like I do, you will love this film. It is enjoyable, and Neil Patrick Harris, again, spectacular in this. Family Guy, freaking Sweet Christmas. All right, that goes there. What was it? A View to a Kill, I think it is. Yeah. Technically, this one had the first African-American Bond girl. So, no, Halle Berry, you were not the first. And because of that, I think it's an important film. I think that should be a yes, please. I think that should be owned for a piece of history right there. And also, it's not a bad film. Most Bond films are fairly decent films. Fairly decent action films. I can't really think of any Bond film other than a few of the recent ones. Only a few will rank below Curious. Only a few. A Walk to Remember, haven't seen. Heard it's good. Right here. Real Monsters. Great nostalgia trip film main series for me. It's still in this because I like it well enough, but I don't consider it one of the best shows of all time. Well, this is my first part of the A's, and we're going to keep working our way through. Hopefully we'll get through A sometime. Sometime maybe by the end of the month. But I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.